Hey, I'm Martin from Terror, and you're watching PitCam.
Hi, I'm Alesana from PitCam, and we're here today with Martin from Terror. So the first question, we're going to start off with a fan question.
Okay.
They don't know if you guys know this or not, but if it's true, we read somewhere that in the movie, the Disney film Aquamarine, there's a guy wearing a Terror shirt in the movie.
I don't know. I've never even heard of that movie.
Well, that's like, we just read that and we thought,
really?
What do you think about it now that you know?
That's kind of crazy. I mean, I'd like to see it if that's true. I mean, it doesn't like, I don't know, it doesn't bother me or anything in any way. I think that's kind of funny. That's awesome. I gotta check that out.
And why go into hardcore music? Like, what made you want to go into this kind of direction?
Well, I grew up as a kid going to punk shows and stuff, and then I went to my first hardcore show and just saw how much different it was. Like, it seemed like everybody was friends with each other. The first time I went, everyone knew each other, and it was just like such a sense of community and family. It was a little bit different than anything else I'd experienced before. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have all seen a live show before, and it's just like so much more intense than anything else in the whole world. Like, there's just a certain energy that only exists in these rooms where hardcore shows are at. So that's why it's just like, it just feels good, you know? It feels right.
And what was that first show that you went to?
I can't remember now. I mean, I'm sure it was like just like a local show, but I mean, Strife is one of the bands like that I grew up seeing from Victory Records band from when I was a teenager, and that's like the first band I remember really making that huge impact on me. Like, they were my favorite band when I was a teenager, and they put on a live show like no one can match. So yeah.
And the last album that you guys did was in September 2008, I think? That was the last one?
I seriously don't even know. I mean, it was, that sounds about right.
Well, do you guys have any plans on writing a new one soon?
Yeah, we're doing a new record this year. Right when we get home from this tour, we have like a practice space rented, and we're gonna get in there and start playing all the songs. But everything's been written on the road. Like, we just have a computer and make fake drums and all that stuff. And so all the songs are pretty much there and ready to go. We just have to rehearse them, I guess, together. So, and then we record in April, I think. So, yeah, this year it'll be done.
And you guys have been pretty successful. You've been touring around Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, Mexico, South America, all those.
Everywhere, yeah.
What was the favorite place that you've been to so far, and like what place have you guys not been to yet that you are hoping to plan to go to soon?
Well, favorite place is seriously, it's almost impossible to say because every place is different and has its good and bad things, and I don't know. I mean, personally, I think my favorite personally was Thailand, just because it's somewhere that I always wanted to go, and to be able to go there playing music was just insane. Like, I never dreamt. I figured if I was ever gonna go to Thailand, I would have to save up my money and go on a little vacation and stuff like that. But to go there and play a show was crazy, and the show itself was like very wild, very intense. So that's my favorite. But we didn't. It's all good. Go through. We haven't been to the Philippines yet, but people keep
riding
there. We should have gone because we did a whole Southeast Asia thing, like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and all that, and it should have been included in there, but we didn't get to make it. And we're going to Turkey for the first time. Wow. Right after this tour ends, we have one show in Greece with Madball, and then by ourselves we go to Istanbul and do one show. So that's our first time there, and anywhere pretty much. We'll seriously play anywhere that has a show, like anywhere in the world, no joke.
And out of all the places that you've been to, what has been the one place where you just looked around and you thought, where am I? Oh my God! Like not weird, but kind of like you just thought, wow, this is actually on Earth.
I think Russia probably, because I never even suspected that we would be allowed to go there for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. It just, for like being an American, like going to Russia just seems impossible for some reason. And and we played 3 shows there, so yeah, it was just like.
Was it hard getting into Russia? Or?
No, not at all. That's the weird thing about it too. I mean, we just flew in, and no problems whatsoever. And people always assume that we're gonna get hassled at customs because of the band name, but no one said anything. We were all good, and we had a great time. It was wild. So yeah.
So name one upside and downside of touring.
The only downside for me is that I just miss stuff that's going on at home. I mean, everyone has their stuff, their family, their girlfriends, or whatever they may have at home. But aside from that, it's all upsides for me. That's why I do this, especially because this band tours more than most bands. We're constantly on tour, so if you don't have that positive outlook on it, then you're just going to be miserable the whole time. So everything
Try
about
to
it.
stay positive.
Every single thing about it to me is good. I love it, meeting all new people every time, all the new bands we see, and like seeing all these crazy. I'm chilling in Berlin right now. That's like, it's crazy to me. So.
So what is the stupidest thing a fan has ever asked you, or maybe done in the show, like in the crowds where you just thought, like, what's that idiot doing?
Oh man.
If you can remember anything.
A couple of nights ago, there was like a few Nazis at a show, and it's just, to me, I don't know, it's just different. I know it's different politics here in Europe, but at home that doesn't happen. But here it's kind of mind-blowing to me because it's like they were so blatant about it, and to me that's just crazy that people like that would come to a hardcore show knowing that no one really agrees with that or even wants them there, and like to me that's kind of stupid. Like, why would you come there? No, I wouldn't go somewhere, and so I know nobody wants me there, so it's like.
Did they make trouble in the show? Or
No, not really. I mean,
stood there, everyone was
it was a little weird for me, but whatever, everything was fine. So
I read that you guys were signed to Trustkill Records, and I've heard from many other bands that we've interviewed that they were just really, had lots of complaints. Do you guys have any did you have any problems with them, or was it different for you guys?
Well, that's a hard question for me to answer because I've been in the band now for 4 years, so I'm not an original member, but my time in the band, I didn't deal with them at all.
Yeah.
Like right away, we started with Century Media when I was in the band. So, I mean, I've heard a couple of bad things here and there from other dudes in the band, but nothing like the stuff that I've heard from other bands. Like we have friends that are in bands that have been on that label and said terrible things, but I mean, nothing from me. It's whatever.
So we're coming to our last question. It's another fan question.
Okay.
Is there any music direction where you think it shouldn't exist? Every time you hear it, you just get really annoyed from it and you just want it to stop?
Yeah, me. Yeah, I don't want this to be put on the band or anything, but me as a person, I can't stand this new stuff going on where bands have these weird breakdowns and then it turns into a pop dance song with fucking keyboards or whatever, this band Attack or something like that.
God, yeah.
That's just me personally. I hate that shit straight up and down. There's nothing that I like about it, and it seems like they're kind of on the forefront of the whole trend, and I've noticed that certain places we play, there's local bands, younger kids that must be into that kind of stuff, and so they're starting to do it, and I'm afraid it's just gonna
overtake.
Yeah, it's gonna overtake everything, and it's gonna be one big fucking circus, That's just me though. I'm just, I have opinions. Everyone's got opinions, and I hate that shit. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing the interview with us.
Yeah, no problem.
And the last words go to you.
Okay. Well, now everybody's watching me. We got a new record coming out this year called Keepers of the Faith. So check us out on Twitter and on MySpace, and that's about it. Yeah.